Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the penultimate hurdle. And if there's one song on Ride the Lightning that I really have no inclination about what goes on going into it, then I think it's got to be this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but aside from like one or two notes, that the idea is that Creeping Death is sort of meant to be like this brutal realization of the angel of death coming to strike down Egypt to kill the firstborns of every family, taken from the book of Exodus. And apparently there's a riff in this that Kirk Hammett wrote when he was only 16 years old. So we're talking a riff that goes back to 1980 is involved in this. And it probably says a lot about the fact that Kirk only did that when he was 16 years old, and he's put it in this. And and also the fact that the late great Richard Cliff Burton also had a hand in this by watching the Ten Commandments. That was Vincent Price was in that movie, wasn't he? I'm gonna have to probably look into that. It's been a very long time since I watched the Ten Commandments, so we'll have to check that out right now. Actually, we could do that right now. So let's start this right now. I swear my intros are getting worse and worse. Dear me. So if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. So let's begin. Creeping Death in 3, 2, 1, and oh. Yeah, I can believe this is a Kirk riff. Ooh. Chosen one, be written, so let it be done. Okay, you know what? I spoke earlier about how I might not have had the best of impressions from. I can't even remember if I straight up did this song like at all back in the day. But the more I think about it, this album. I'm not even joking, ladies and gentlemen. I can see now why Ride the Lightning is held with such high esteem, because every song begins like it belongs in in the Hall of Fame. That every single song, with even Escape, begins with loads of passion, loads of atmosphere, loads of character. Everything on this album does that, and again, maybe with the exception of Escape, every single song somehow does it a little bit more than the song that came before. Like, it does other things, but it still keeps to the same rhythm. I think what I mean by that is that you can sort of tell a little bit that this is done by Metallica, but they switch things up. They always try to keep things fresh with the same sound. If you know, with their discography workmanship. I'm pretty sure there must have been like some words there, but my goodness, it's very. If this was put on Kill 'Em All, this absolutely would have. I almost feel like some of the songs here would have been quite at home on Kill 'Em All, but the fact that it's on something slightly different, because it is a little bit different to Kill 'Em All, which I gotta say, I think it would have been better, because to be honest, a lot of these songs really do stand out on their own, especially with the ones that you can tell were obviously not were not Dave Mustaine referenced, because there are quite a lot of things in Kill 'Em All that definitely were written as though they had Dave Mustaine in mind. And some of them are kind of a little bit like that on Ride the Lightning, except this one feels a lot more like its own thing, like its own identity. Thrash, topped off with masterful storytelling. It is Metallica, and there were many groups that could do this, but Metallica always manages to make their own style and their own quirkiness in order to tell a story. And even on some of the more unconventional ideas, you get a very captivating little narrative code inside. I mean, Fight Fire with Fire, a song about a nuclear arms race, you wouldn't believe the sort of things that can come from stuff like that. Like I said, the beginning of that song plays like it should have belonged on Where the Wind Blows, a disturbing animated tale about an elderly couple trying to survive a nuclear winter. Ride the Lightning is a guy being sentenced to death by an electric chair, and if it almost sounds like an Iron Maiden song in all honesty, but it's absolutely Metallica's own because of just the justice they do to it. For Whom the Bell Tolls is absolutely a Metallica idea, and including in production as well, like the striking of the anvil, the fact the intro plays like a song on itself in a way. Fade to Black is Metallica showing off a lot more of their style, but also the fact that they've straight up made music that could save lives, to be honest. Because I know Trapped Under Ice is again using this sort of like their love of the idea of, like, of creating impossible scenarios, because a lot of people do say that a lot of things about Trapped Under Ice are very reminiscent in one, which I do agree, yes, except this one feels a little bit more like tongue-in-cheek, like it's more about the thrill of knowing, of like your brain going into overdrive, knowing that how do I get out of this. There's a lot more like tension, I suppose, in it than the way that, just a piece of me that keeps on living. Escape does have its purpose, I think. Well, the studio thought that it had to have a purpose, but it just Well, to be fair, if it justifies everything else, so I suppose that's the point of that. Escape exists just so they can say when everyone picks it up that it belongs on everything else here. And Creeping Death is just like mass destruction, but you get into it so much. The music in this, the music in this entire album honestly is, I think, the crown jewel. And I think that's the best way I could describe this album, in all honesty. This is, in terms of musicianship, this, I think, is Metallica at their very best. But with that being said, there's still one more song to go. And it's the one I've kind of been anticipating for quite a long time now. So, what are we waiting for? So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to Creeping Death by Metallica. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let what you guys thought of Creeping Death for yourselves. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. We are riding and we're about to close out Ride the Lightning. Take care and bye-bye for now.